Was this a hard one to pick? Is it because they look so similar? Well, get used to it because that's how a lot of this video is gonna go. It's also gonna give you a better understanding about Google's evolution into its photo quality, its camera characteristics, and a bit of what I'd like to see improved as we move forward. A quick note for those who aren't familiar with the Nexus brand, this was Google's line of phones from 2010 to 2015 before being renamed to Pixel. Now, all four of these shots came out excellent with great detail, same blues in the sky, same deep shadows. If we crop to 100%, you can see that all four retain that quality. One last thing that I'd like to point out, the Nexus 6P was released in 2015. It was one of my favorite phones that year, namely because of its camera, and 3 years later, it's nice to see it still hang with the competition. This next set of shots tells pretty much the same story. All came out great, very similar, with maybe a hint of a white balance difference, but nothing too drastic to discuss. Now the Nexus 6P came out the darkest and the coolest, by cool I mean blue, in the bunch. The Pixel XL may be the brightest, but there's not much more variance here. At 100% crop, you can see the only difference here is the temperature of the shot on the Nexus 6P. Otherwise, all retain excellent detail throughout. This is probably the first real big difference that I've seen between all four phones. Here you can see the Nexus 6P and Pixel 2 XL share a cooler profile, while the Pixel XL and 3 XL share warmer ones, giving off a more accurate look. But there's still no major difference when it comes to lighting and brightness. I've been pleased with all these results. And at 100% crop, you can see that all four still do a great job taking its shot. Just a heads up, none of these were taken with portrait mode. The Nexus 6P and Pixel XL aren't capable of this feature. I know they are with a little modification, but I'd like to stick to stock here, so bear with me. The Nexus 6P is again the darkest of the set. This shot could have used a step or two up in exposure, while each generation of the Pixel phone gets a little brighter throughout, the Pixel 3 XL being the brightest and my favorite of this set. I did take portrait shots with the 2 XL and the 3 XL while I was here though, and while the 2 XL offered a little more blur in the back than the 3 XL, there were uneven amounts of blur throughout, missed ones as well, and besides, you can now control the amount of blur through Google's stock photo editor. Just don't get too crazy with the blur because then it just looks fake. With the sun setting, I headed to the lake for a few final snaps. Again, not a whole lot of difference here, and as I break to one last set of shots of sand and water, we're pretty much dealing with four cameras with some pretty similar characteristics during the day. But what about at night? The first thing I set my eyes on is the lamppost. The Nexus 6P and Pixel XL distort the light, the Pixel 2 XL and 3 XL handle it much better, but the 2 XL has lens flare shooting out from it while the 3 XL keeps things at bay. At 100% crop, you can see the Pixel XL overexpose the lights on the Wrigley building, while the Nexus 6P and Pixel 3 XL offer the best detail. It's important for me to note that the Nexus 6P takes a considerable amount of time to take these night shots. If you don't have a tripod handy, you're most likely not going to pull these results because of handshake. So up top you'll see a rainbow haze effect going on with the Nexus 6P, while the Pixel 3 XL handles these bright lights the best, but all do a really good job with the neon lights. At 100% crop, you can see the Pixel XL is on the verge of washing out, while the Pixel 3 XL shows the best representation. Look at the Y in carryout and notice the detail of the actual bent letter here. That's really fucking impressive. You can see a little of it on the 2 XL, but it's completely void on the 6P and Pixel XL. The 6P was the darkest and warmest shot, producing a yellow tone in its shot. The Pixel XL the brightest, but also exhibited much more noise in the night sky and overexposed lights more so than its brethren. The 2XL and 3XL were better here. I felt that the 2XL had more accurate color and ended up as my pick, while the 3XL shot warmer than I'd like. Both decent shots though, and totally usable. Now here's a difficult shot. There's an orange-red neon light up front with white lighting in the back surrounded by shades of clear, gray, and black lettering. The Nexus 6P turned that neon sign red and it doesn't even look like it's lit up. And while it's better on the XL, it's really hard to read. The 2XL doubles down by making the neon sign brighter, the lettering in the back darker, but overall muddling the entire shot. But the 3XL manages to find a way to execute this shot better than the rest. I don't know what voodoo magic is going on here, but this is definitely the best shot of the set. And in this last set of night shots, you'll see how 4 generations of Google phones have evolved. This was set in some pretty dim lighting up front with a ton of lights behind me, giving each camera a difficult situation to work with. The Nexus 6P had the darkest shot, and while all the lights behind me were really well exposed, I'm just a lot darker in the shot than I'd like to be. And on the opposite end of things, the Pixel XL was the brightest, but its overexposure on pretty much all the lights behind me throw things off. You can no longer see the bulbs here, the lights are blown out in the building here. There's obviously more, but you get what I'm saying. Now, the Pixel 2 XL is a combination of the two. Brighter than the 6P, but darker than the XL. A pretty good shot. And then there's the Pixel 3 XL. It's taken what's become the hardest pictures to take, the ones at night, and has figured a way to control the bright artificial lights, light up a subject even in the absence of proper lighting. And let me put it this way, when I was reviewing the pics and came across this one, I was like, holy shit, this is it. This is what separates this camera phone from the rest. I've said this before on previous videos, but day shots are easy, right? On a sunny day, you can take almost any potato camera and shoot a decent enough shot to post on social media. The real test is at night. How well can your phone shoot in low light? That's what separates a good camera from a great camera. I'm still not convinced that the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL are worth $800, $900. If you haven't seen my video test regarding recording audio on the Pixel 3, that's a big fat reason I disagree with the price, and I'll keep bitching about it until they fix it. I'm going off topic here. I'm happy to see Google sticking to their guns with their photo quality. I'm someone who likes contrasty, deep shadow shots out of my phone. When I shoot with my DSLR, that's how I edit them as well. When I shoot with my phone, I'm not trying to edit that. I just want to take a good picture and get it out to the world. I'd imagine 99% of most people are too. Google, if you're watching this, if you're listening, somehow, some way, just keep making good shit, fix the broken shit, and stop charging us an arm and a leg. There's a reason I stuck with you guys for so long. Don't let this relationship end.